So in this video, let's discuss the solution for the second program on the loops and the functions. So in this exercise, we will create a program that displays a multiplication table that shows the products of all combinations of integers from 1 times 1 up to including 10 times 10. Your multiplication table should include row of labels across the top of it containing the numbers 1 through 10. You should also include labels down the left side consisting of the numbers 1 through 10. The expected output is as follows. So what you are supposed to do is, it is as simple as over here. So the row heading needs to be from 1 to 10, that is this part, and the this is a column heading, and the row heading is here 1 to 10 on the left side, and the column heading is at the top 1 to 10 at the top over here. So in simplicity, I'll just make you clear here is, so it is basically a tables program here, like 1 ones are 1, 1 twos are 2, 1 threes are 3, 2 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6, and so on up to 10 here. So what they have given here in this above lines over here is, you are supposed to make a labels of 1 to 10 as a column headings, and you are supposed to display the row headings as 1 to 10. Then as a matrix multiplication or a tabular multiplication, it has to display the multiplication of the all the combinations of numbers over here. So in simplicity, you can understand here, it has to display the multiplication of the all the combinations of the numbers over here. That is, for example, 1 into 1 1, 1 into 2 2, 1 into 3 3, 1 into 4 4, 1 into 5 5, and so on, 1 into 10 to 10. So in the same way, for the next row and the column heading combination or the multiplication of these two possibilities here, like 2 into 1 2, 2 into 2 4, 2 into 3 6, 2 into 4 8, 2 into 5 10, and up to 2 into 10 20. So if you go on doing like this, one thing you can observe here, so if you see this table here, you can get the tables of the numbers in the row wise, as well as you will get the same tables into the column wise. So for example, you can see here uh, 2 4 6 8 10 12, whereas here also 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 16. So this is said to be as the multiplication combination of the all the possible numbers over here. So what you are supposed to do is, you are supposed to write a program to get the display of this multiplication table over here. So for this, even they have given you the hint, like I think in one of the previous video I have discussed that what happens if you are going to use the end parameter within the print function. So as I told you, by default, if you are going to use the print function, every time the print function is going to take the display into the new line. So in order to avoid the new line display, you can use the end parameter with an empty value over here, that is the empty string. So that means the print or the display need not to start with the new line, instead it has to carry out with the same row over here. So let's see how we can get this solution here. Which is very quite simple over here. Two variables has been taken just to restrict from which number to which number the display of the tables needs to be done. So the minimum being considered as a 1 and maximum value as a 10. So in the beginning, you can see here print has been taken with an empty space, or the you can see the empty string with a space. So the space is also considered as a 1 character over here. So this is going to get the terminated with an end parameter without any value over here. That means this print has to just take the one tabular space over here, but it has to continue with the same line here. What needs to be continued with the same line here is the for loop has been taken here. So you can see here how the for loop has been structured here for I in range. So to the range function, we have taken the two parameters here, the min and the max plus 1. So can you just tell me why the max plus 1 has been considered here? What happens if you are going to take only the max over here? So if you take only the max over here, that means it will start with the min value, that is 1, and up to the max, that is 10, but it is not going to consider the 10 here. So in order to get the numbers from 1 to 10 here, so for that you can take the one value to more that means you are telling that range needs to be considered from 1 to 10. That is one value to this second parameter, which is going to be taken here as 11. Okay, so that means this for loop is going to execute from the 1 to 10 here. So but what it is going to do at the each iteration, so at the each iteration you can see here it is going to display the I value, that is the each iteration value, that is 1 till 10. But how it is going to be displayed with the 4 tabular spaces here. So if you simply take only one space over here, the only one character space is going to be considered as a display over there. But if you take it as a percentage 4D, it is going to take the 4 tabular spaces. So if you want, you can experiment with this execution to check out what does this percentage 4D is going to do there. So in simplicity, it is just going to consider the 4 tabular spaces for the each number over there. So I'll just show you how does it is going to behave here. I just want to put the comment line so that I can tell you what output you are going to get for this each statement here. So if I run this only this part, so you can see here what does it is going to do here. So for each iteration, that is from I range till 1 to 10, so this space the space that is left before this one number is the result of this print statement here. So print take one space over there and do continue with the same line. You can see here the after leaving a space it has started displaying within the same line here, so which is a result of this end parameter here. So in the next statement it has started with the for loop where it has to carry out the iterations from 1 to 10 here. So you can see max plus 1 is 11. So the second parameter last value will not be considered. It is going to be continued from the mainnet to the one value less to this second parameter, which is 1 to 10 here. So you can see here it has taken the 4 tabular spaces to be left between the each of the iteration here. That is for the first iteration it will take the or it will print 1, for the second iteration 2, third iteration 3, and so on up to the last iteration, that is 10. So why this percentage 4D is taken here is to take these 4 spaces between the each numbers that are considered for from the each iteration over here. Right. So what happens next? After that we want the another display to be taken as a column or to the tabular form where it has to carry out the multiplication for the each combination of the number here. So in this case I'll just remove this here. So now I'll execute and show you what I'll get. So as a result, it is not going to make much difference over here. So instead of continuing into the same line, it will take it to the new line here. I'll just remove this for loop. We are taking here one more for loop. So for I in the range with the same limit, that is min to the max plus 1. And here also we are displaying the same thing what we have done here. So percentage 4D, percentage I, and with the parameter being or indicating that it has to continue into the same line. So next another for loop has been taken here. So you can see I is the iteration variable for the outer for loop and j is the iteration variable for the inner for loop here. So even for the inner for loop we have the limitation from the min to the max plus 1. For both the loops we have the same limitations here. So what it has to display is for the first loop, for the each iteration it has to display the same number, that is 1 to 10, which has to be continued into the same line over here. So in this case you can see here for the first iteration the I value will be 1, so I is displayed, and it will go for this statement where the j first iteration for the j for the first iteration for the inner loop, that is j value is again 1. So here at the display over here you can see here the same space is going to be considered for the each display in this entire program, but what it has to be displayed here print as a result of the print is I into j, that is for the first iteration I is 1, and even for the first iteration of the inner for loop j value is 1. So it is going to take here it as a 1 into 1, which needs to be displayed within the same line here. So when this for inner for loop is going to be terminated, or else when the execution is going to come out of this inner for loop is when all the iterations of the inner for loop has been completed. That means it will not go for the second iteration of the outer for loop. Instead, it will just go to the next iteration of the inner for loop here. So for that, the j value now becomes 2. Now it is going to take I value as again 1. 1 into 2, it is 2. So similarly, next it will take j value 3. 1 into 3, 3. 1 into 4, 4. 1 into 5, 5. So this is going to be completed only once it come out of this inner for loop. That is when the j value becomes 11. That means it will continue until and unless the j value is 10 here. So the last value for this iteration is 1 into 10 is 10. So once it has completed the all the iterations for the inner for loop, then it will go for the next iteration of the outer for loop. That is, it is going to consider the I value as 2. Now considering I value as a 2, it is again going to repeat for the all the iterations of the inner for loop. That is, by taking j value as again 1, I being 2, 2 into 1 2, 2 into 2 4, 2 into 3 6, 2 into 4 8. So like this, it is going to continue until unless the j value is 10. So this entire part is going to repeat until and unless the I value becomes is executed from 1 to 10 over there. So my question to you people is, why this print statement has been taken? Why? Because here in both these print statements you have used the end parameter, wherein it is going to continue the display of the numbers within the same line. So if you want, I'll show you how does it is going to make difference here. So if I put a comment to this print statement here, and if I execute this program, you will be little confused what numbers has been displayed over. So you'll be little confused what numbers has been displayed over here. So if I show you, you can see here. So the numbers has been displayed continue within the same line over here. So 1 to 10 and the 1 to this 100 has been displayed within the same line here, though it is displaying one below the other just because of the display of the screen here. So it has been taken into the new line here, but it is not actually by implementation taken into the new line here. So in order to avoid this, or in order to make it display into the proper manner, we have taken simply the print statement without anything to be displayed. So as I told you, by default the print always is going to take it to the new line. So when the new line is going to be considered once the entire complete row multiplication has been done over here. So now if I execute and show you here, so you can identify, or you can just recognize the difference between the earlier display and this display here. So in this case, what we are supposed to do here, what we have done actually here is, so initially we have displayed the row heading here as a 2, sorry, row heading as 1 to 10, row heading as a 1 to 10. Later we have started here again where we have taken the multiplication of this row with this j value here. So basically, in simplicity, if I tell you these row headings, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and these are considered to be as a I, whereas these are considered to be as a j. So this is going to be multiplied with this, that is 1 into 1 is 1, 1 into 2 is 2, 1 into 3 is 3. So this is going to continue here within the same row. But when it is going to take into the new line is, once it has completed the display of the first row, it is going to take into the new line where the I value is updated to the 2 and j value is continuing the same. That is, now I value is 2 here and j value is 1. 2 into 1 is 2, 2 into 2 is 4, and so on. So this is going to continue until and unless it has executed for the either all I values, that is from 1 to 10, and all the j values from the 1 to 10. The solution is very simple here. Here you require a nested for loop where you are going to do the multiplication in the form of a matrix format, where you are going to do the multiplication between the I and the j values. But the problem, or the main important part in this program, is the usage of the end parameter in the print statements, which plays a very important role in order to display the result in this tabular form over here. So one thing, if you are not clear with the solution, is always you can experiment this solution just by taking a simple or the single statement to be executed, and check out what it is going to display if you execute this for loop, and what it is. That is, first try to execute only these two statements and check out what you are going to get the display, and try to execute only these two statements and check out what you are getting the display, and try to execute these four together and identify what it is going to make difference, and even try to remove these end parameters and try to execute and check out what it is going to make difference over there, right? So this is the solution for the tables program. So I hope the solution is clear to you. So the rest of the program solutions I'll continue in the next video.